Who doesn't like chicken? And if they're Kentucky Fried Chicken, then no one can deny that. Even famous people like Donald Trump seem to be big fans of KFC. KFC, known by the face of an old man with a white beard, and just like its fried chicken, crispy on the outside and juicy in the middle, its history consists of many ups and downs and many delicious turns. In today's video, we're going to take you on a journey way back to 1930, when a man named Harland Sanders refused to give up in the face of adversity and thus ended up inventing the most famous and popular fast food chain in the world. The story of KFC, as well as its founder's success, is very inspiring and incredible. The story of KFC begins with the struggle of Harland Sanders and his repetitive failures. The KFC recipe was shot down an astounding 1,009 times before it was finally accepted. But instead of simply making lemonade out of his misfortunes, Sanders used them to make the world a better place. You're watching the YouTube channel Big Company Business. In today's video, we will talk about Harland Sanders and his Kentucky Fried Chicken business story. Sanders lost his dad when he was just a kid, so he was responsible for feeding and taking care of his siblings. At the age of 16, he lied about his age when he enlisted in the Army. Following his honorable release from the military a year later, he found work as a railroad employee. Unfortunately, he was fired after a dispute with a coworker. While working for the railroad, he studied law, but a quarrel ended his career. As a result, Sanders had to move back in with his mother and take a job selling life insurance. And what do you know? He was dismissed from his position for his disobedience. However, he was not willing to give up. Starting in 1920, he established a ferry boat service. Later, he tried to build on his success with ferry boats by starting a business that made lamps. But he soon found out that a rival company was selling an improved version of his original design. By the time he was 40, he was working as a vendor in a gas station, selling chicken meals. A dispute with a rival food vendor, who he had just started marketing to, escalated into a fatal firefight. After those 4 years, he acquired a hotel, which unfortunately perished in the fire with his restaurant. This stubborn individual, however, reconstructed and operated a new hotel until the outbreak of World War II made further operations impossible. He made an effort to expand his business into franchise territory after the war. His recipe was turned down a whopping 1,009 times before it was finally accepted, and soon, Kentucky Fried Chicken, the name given to Sanders' secret recipe, became a fast favorite. At age 66, his monthly Social Security payout was only $105. Still, things worked out for the best in the end. Sanders then came up with the notion of franchising his chicken dish under the name Kentucky Fried Chicken. In 1952, when he licensed his formula to Pete Harmon, he set the groundwork. He started his trip across the country by loading up his car with pressure cooker and a mixture of 11 herbs and spices. Samples were offered as he traveled from restaurant to restaurant across the country. After restaurant owners tried the samples, he negotiated franchise partnerships with them, offering a 4-cent commission on every piece of chicken they sold. For his part, he volunteered to show them how to produce it. The first franchise deal he signed was with a Utah restaurant, and by 1963, there were 600 KFC locations across the United States. Are you enjoying this video? If so, remember to subscribe to the channel. But let's keep going. Well, Sanders was now too elderly to run such a large company. Although several people had shown interest in purchasing KFC from Harland Sanders, the company was ultimately sold for $2 million to a group of investors led by John Y. Brown and Jack C. Massey in 1964. He agreed to sell it on the condition that quality would be maintained indefinitely, that his compensation would be guaranteed for life, and that he would continue to serve as the public face of the business. By 1970, there were 3,000 stores in 48 countries. Brown sold KFC to the food packaging and beverage firm Hoobline in 1971 for $285 million. In 1980, Harland Sanders had passed away. About 6,000 KFC restaurants in 48 countries existed at the time of his passing. Tobacco giant R.J. Reynolds bought Hoobline in 1982 and later sold KFC to PepsiCo for $850 million in 1986. Many new items were introduced when PepsiCo acquired the company. KFC was formally approved as a brand name in 1991. Successful new items were introduced across the network in the early 1990s, such as the spicy hot wings in 1990 and the popcorn chicken in 1992. Outside of the United States, the Zinger, a hot chicken filet burger, was also introduced in 1993. Because of its rapid expansion, PepsiCo separated its restaurant division, which comprised KFC, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut, into its own business, Tricon Global Restaurant Incorporated, in 1997. By 1998, most KFC franchise owners had agreed to sell soft drinks made by PepsiCo. Currently, KFC has more than 300 menu choices available in different countries and languages to cater to local preferences. Grilled chicken is available in several countries and regions. Chicken is halal in nations where the majority of the population is Muslim. People in Asia tend to favor fiery cuisine, such as the Zinger chicken sandwich. In some countries outside the United States, the main chicken parts product is also available in a hot and spicy version. KFC now has 22,600 locations in 135 countries, generating $30 billion in annual revenue and a brand value of $9.3 billion. According to Interbrand, KFC is the world's number 96 most valuable brand. The company is also looking into alternatives to meat from animals and wants to use cutting-edge technology to help it grow. Last but not least, remember Colonel Harland Sanders' story whenever you find yourself being defeated by rejection or disheartened by failure. He was laid off from several jobs, had his law career destroyed, and saw his professional progress impeded by the Great Depression, fires, and World War II. But he persevered and eventually founded one of the greatest fast food franchises in the world. Sanders was an unstoppable force who would not be deterred. Each of us might learn from Colonel Sanders. That's all for today. What do you think of KFC? And what's your favorite KFC product, aside from its fried chicken? Tell us yours in the comment section. Big Company Business will be back next week. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, share, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one.